Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Tom Greene Show. This show is presented by Coke Zero. All the tasting refreshment of Coke and 0 calories. Good refreshment. Anyway, let's introduce another special guest to my show. This is a good time friend of mine. He's been friends with me since he was about this tall. He is a year older than me, senior at Garber High School. Let's welcome Tyler Jacobs. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good.
We need to clap and a laugh track, that'd be funny.
That would be very good for the show. Anyway, let's start today's show with the Big Ten football predictions.
Pretty big on ESPN right now. If you check it out, there's a lot of people talking about it.
And who does ESPN have winning?
Nobody's predicted any winners yet, but most of the analysts that have written down have Wisconsin, Nebraska, and my favorite, Michigan State, which I'm not complaining about at all.
I'm complaining about it big time because Michigan is my favorite team, and of course their new coach Brady Hoke. You never know what could happen. They could win. They could flop. They could fall down and flop and go 0-12.
I'd enjoy that.
You would. I wouldn't.
But
we would both love it if Ohio State flopped and went 0-12, which I did mention the Jim Tressel situation in my video. Friends, this is the man who made the complaint that I did not talk about Jim Tressel in my...
It's a very, very, very big topic because Game 5, Michigan State, Ohio State, it's the last game when Ohio State doesn't have their star power. Be watching from the bench, Michigan State's going to kill it. I bet you'd like to see that though because you hate Ohio State.
Yes, we both would like them to fail.
Be a hard game for you to root for.
I would actually have to root for Michigan State in that game. Michigan State 1-11, Ohio State 0-12, Michigan 13-0, BCS national champions.
Keep dreaming. That's all I gotta say about that. But I see, speaking of the Big Ten, I'm gonna elaborate on that a little bit. I see Nebraska-Iowa being a really big rivalry in the coming years. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be huge. With they border each other right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's going to be big. It's not going to be quite Michigan, Ohio State, but that's going to be huge. And, there's some teams that are going to be up and coming this season, like Northwestern's going to be good. Dan Persa,
yeah.
Senior quarterback, He's really, really good. Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, they're going to be the teams that everybody kills.
Yeah, Minnesota is just, 2 years ago they were pretty good, and now they just dropped.
That's what happens the most.
Ever since TCF Bank Stadium was created, Minnesota, Minnesota Vikings, except for last year.
Should have stayed in the Metrodome. I've been there before.
You see, the Metrodome was unfortunately exploded by snow, and of course we all do believe that. Would you agree that Asians made that Metrodome?
Not to be too racist, I don't think so. It was built a long time ago.
My grandpa made a comment on Facebook back near Christmas saying that Metrodome was made in China.
That's funny.
And of course, we all remember last time on the show, our special guest Nick Pinner made a theory about Asians, did he not?
I thought it was correct.
And I do believe so too. Speaking of Nick's theory about Asians, let's go to the biggest topic right now that's not talked about in the United States, the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Should have been talked about a lot more. It was the biggest sport going on at the time, and everybody in the United States was turning another head to it. Nobody really paid attention to it.
Except for myself and you and
I watched every single game.
And Mr. Drew Petrowski, who made a status saying, "Alex Morgan, will you marry me?" And I thought, and I'll take Hope solo. And he said, "I'll be the captain to her Morgan." And I said, "And I'll decide to go solo." Anyway, see, this is why we need laugh tracks, my friends.
After a while, though, I bet the laugh track would get kind of old.
You never know in this show.
Right. we're pretty much around the board here. We were talking about the Big Ten, and now we're on women's soccer and laugh tracks and Facebook.
Yes, Facebook.
We're all over the place. It's not so much a sports show; it's more of a variety show.
Yes. Anyway, on to the women's soccer. If you did watch the United States World Cup final against Japan, they had lost in penalty kicks to Japan 4-1. Am I correct?
Yeah. The only miss was a Japan miss. No, did Hope Solo save it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Hope Solo made a save. But
Well, 3-1, excuse me.
yeah, but you know, you go out 1-0 with an amazing goal like that
From Alex Morgan.
Rapinoe to Morgan across the whole field. You know, you gotta win those. But I know Japan was the team of destiny, and you know, if the U.S. is gonna lose to anybody, I think I'd want them to lose to Japan.
I would have to agree because you know the devastation that happened in Japan last March. I had to get up for jazz band that day, and I remember waking up, and then my mother said Japan got an earthquake, and then I watched. Instead of watching Mike and Mike, I watched the devastation of Japan.
That was a week before my birthday.
Surprisingly. But anyway, my strategy would have been for penalty kicks. Remember how Wambach scored?
Scores every time.
I would have had Wambach first.
Nah, I think I would have too, but I don't think I would have taken Rapinoe out because she's a good penalty kicker too. But you know, but that early in the game when they took her out, you
I would say
PKs.
Rapinoe got taken out.
She was being a ball hog. That was bad. Still one of my favorite players though.
But anyway, I would have went Wambach, Morgan, and then 1, 2, 3 for penalty kicks normal. Because Morgan scored, Wambach scored.
Yeah, you can't go back and change it though, that's the thing.
That's right, we can't change the past.
Even though we wish we could.
Yeah, I would have changed many Michigan State decisions if I had to, and he would have done the same thing.
I would have done every single one. I wouldn't have spared any expense to do that. Speaking of Michigan State, October 15th this year at Michigan State. Or no, yes, at Michigan State.
At Spartan Stadium.
I'm still trying to score tickets, but I doubt it's going to happen.
Well, then if you don't score tickets, then it would probably be myself, you, Drew, Cole, David, and etc. at beat-ups.
Most likely. But what happened last year, the Michigan State game, which Michigan State won the third in a row, by the way.
Boo!
Yeah, you'll have your time. You already had it. I got left there, so maybe I'm going to drive this time.
Yeah, it's been, when Michigan State last won their football game, it was 1,072 days ever since Michigan won.
In basketball or football?
That is correct. And I have counted ever since that day. I yelled to Ryan Smeagol that it would be 1,072 days before Michigan State won again. And I have counted every single day.
Keep dreaming.
And right now the countdown is at 795.
Since Michigan State got beat?
Since Michigan State beat Michigan in the football game.
Oh. No, they beat them this past year. It wouldn't even be 365 yet.
No. When did they Michigan won twice in basketball. State last beat Michigan.
Are you talking about basketball or football?
Both.
Michigan State beat them last in basketball, like last year, but
yeah, Michigan has beaten State a combined 4 times since Michigan or State last won in football. Twice in hockey and twice in basketball.
And you know, Michigan still owns the record in basketball by like 4 games. Little fact. But that's going to disappear in the next 2 years because Michigan State's coming back.
They will not make the NCAA tournament next year.
You said that this year too, Tom.
I said that in anger, and they almost missed it.
They almost missed it.
I personally, myself, I thought they were going to be a middle seed. They'd be lucky to get in the Final Four, but Of course, at Bandorama in anger, I said to Tyler Jacobs, "They're not going to make the tournament this year."
And that's the one thing you've almost called.
I almost did. I was shocked.
I would have been angry. I was surprised Michigan made the tournament, but now that Darius Morris is gone, or whatever his name is, they're going to be flat.
Did Novak leave?
No, I think he's either a senior or a fifth-year senior.
They still got a chance then. As long as we have Novak.
He can shoot the lights out from anywhere. That's coming from a Michigan State fan. I'd like that guy, but...
Well, you don't like that guy because he's a Michigan.
Right, but if we had him, I'd like him.
And then we haven't talked about in a long time, but Corey Lucius got suspended and released from Michigan State.
Iowa State. He's going to Iowa State.
He's been at Iowa State for a little while.
Him and Chris Allen. If you remember, Chris Allen was one of the key players in the 2010 Final Four team. Chris Allen was kicked off the team for, I think he had too many DUIs, and went to Iowa State, and Corey Lucius followed. Poor guy.
I wish Lucius would have went to Michigan, then I would have.
You wish every Michigan State basketball player would have went to Michigan, because then Michigan might actually have a shot.
Well, Michigan almost beat Duke. They were close.
Michigan State made a 28-point comeback on UCLA and lost by 2.
And Tyler, describe to the millions of fans watching out there what you did after Michigan State lost to UCLA.
Threw things, hit things, broke things, possibly lit things on fire. I was in a blinded rage. I don't really know.
As I remember, he threw a remote at his television.
That one too. Broke the remote.
Broke the remote, broke the TV, and they had to buy a new one.
Yeah. I was mad. Just a little bit.
Just a bit mad.
Laugh track right there.
And then when Michigan lost to Duke, I was sitting on my kitchen table eating Wendy's chicken and fries and a large cherry Coke, and I threw away my green bracket.
What's going on in your pocket?
My phone is going off. It is the Geico Boss ringtone.
Save 15% on car insurance with Geico.
That is right, and I will call them back as soon as we are done from the video. And
yeah, for last little bit, let's do NFL labor talks.
Anyways, another thing we have not talked about since I guess Band Festival.
And it's been a long time.
The NFL decertified their union and decided to go into a lockout, which could be ending very soon.
Are we on day 117?
I am really unsure.
Something close to that. I really hope they can get a deal. They said they want one within the next week. You know, Detroit's going to come out amazing this year.
You know, and
Silver Crush, they're calling the defense. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're calling them the Silver Crush.
I remember last year they probably had one of the best front four at defense in the NFL.
Well, now that they've got Fairley, Van Bosch, Sue, and whoever the heck they decide to throw in for 4, they could even run a 3-4 and be good.
Delmas is hoping to have a comeback season from last year.
Delmas needs a comeback season. They also need, I think, once this whole thing gets figured out and they can go into free agency, I think they should go and try and find a free agent safety or defensive back. They're so shallow at that position, it's not even funny.
Of course, they say defense wins championships, but if you got no offense...
Hell, if we're Detroit, we'll take anything.
Stafford needs to get healthy.
He says he's playing all 16 games this year. That was quoted from him on ESPN.
He darn well better.
Yeah, well, Drew Stanton's the backup. He won the most games in the Detroit Lions roster last year. He went to Michigan State.
I was about to say, don't you dare say that.
I just gotta rub in every little Michigan State factoid I can get.
But anyway, the Lions, if you don't know, play 2 Thanksgiving Day games this year. You stand shocked. October 10th, the Monday Night Football game is Canadian Thanksgiving. Little known fact.
Good one. I think you have a voicemail.
Just one missed call. Let's see here.
So, who was it? Bart Scott from the New York Jets came out saying that.
Actually, it's New York. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
That one came out saying that if they took away 2 days, that the NFL is becoming soft and wimpish. I saw that the other day on ESPN. I watch a lot of ESPN.
You watch a lot more ESPN than I do, and I am probably one of the biggest sports fans at school.
Probably. You wear a jersey or a shirt every day. Other than Cole Gift Shop Martins. We call him that for a reason.
Every day I see him wearing Lions or Michigan stuff, and
oh, you can't go wrong with the Detroit Lion shirt. No.
And I have to admit, I did wear a Michigan State Spartan shirt one day. It was an undershirt, and it was a bet from one of my dad's friends.
You only wore it as an undershirt?
Yes, I will never wear a Michigan State shirt as an overshirt.
Alright, I'm going to propose this bet to you right now.
Oh boy, this is on national television, let's see.
Yeah, and anybody that wants in on this, you can comment on this or post on my wall. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm willing to bet Michigan State wins, and when Michigan State wins, I'm giving you you have to wear a Michigan State t-shirt or a sweatshirt over everything. And if they lose, I do the opposite. I wear Michigan.
I'm going to say this. Matt Martin, Travis Myers, if you're watching, you're not the only one that's in on this bet.
It's a bet.
It's a done deal.
I bet Cole, Matt, and Travis on this one last year too, and I won.
Yeah, I saw those pictures on Facebook, and I was...
And Matt would not let me get a decent picture of him. Cole and Travis were fine with it.
I would probably be fine with it because it's... Heck, if I'm wearing that stupid shirt, you may as well take a picture. It lasts longer. Yes, I am one of those guys that if you keep staring at me, take a picture, it lasts longer.
If you're staring at me, I think you're trying to... I don't know where I was going with that one.
Let's not talk about it.
No. I kind of stare at you two and get creeped out and walk away.
But then again, I did wear... Because Alex Rosaticki bet me that if I wore a cut-off sweatshirt, I would get $1 from him.
Only $1? Did you have to cut the sweatshirt like by yourself, or could you buy him cut?
My mother cut it out for me, and I wore it to school one day.
I remember that. That was in the fall, wasn't it?
That was in the winter because it was a I think it was when Patriots Jets.
You know, with how much we're bouncing around on this, we might as well just title it Variety Hour.
Variety Hour. Tom Greene's Variety Hour with special guest Tyler Jacobs. That's what it's going to be on.
You know, if you ever get any funds, you got to save for a laugh track though. That'd be funny.
Mm-hmm. I have not gotten 1 cent from this from these videos.
Well, maybe one day the money will start pouring in.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be funny.
But a lot of people know about these.
Do they?
Yeah.
How many views do you have on YouTube?
20 or 30 or something like that. I told Lewis about it.
I saw him last night. He was going to Mrs. Graham's house with the family. I was walking my dog. I think he's kind of mad at me.
Why is that?
Did I tell you yet?
No.
I'm not going to the performance at band camp. And it was not written down on my sheet.
And why is that?
I'm going camping with my family.
Why couldn't you leave at noon that Friday?
Because I'm leaving Thursday after rehearsal. Because because 2-a-days start on the 8th, and I'm not coming back in town till the 7th. So I'm only gonna be there like the 3rd through the 4th through the 7th. So I'm not gonna get that much time.
But really, Mr. Lewis, if you're watching, I don't know why you're mad. I mean, they didn't plan it.
Yeah, it just kind of happened, but
he didn't know it until weeks after.
2 weeks ago.
There you go, weeks after the form was due. So
yeah,
I would say, Tyler, as this is kind of just okay. You ever have that with your parents?
All the time, and with many other people, such as my brother.
Which one, Matt or Cooper?
Cooper.
Yeah,
Like-
tell
like when he-
tell him about Cooper today about your phone.
No, this was it happened at my stepbrother's grad party. It was last.
And he did not have cake.
No, there was no cake at this grad party.
And tell him the word that I made up on your text.
I don't remember.
I'll post it as a comment on YouTube.
All right, but no. So it's Saturday night. It's like 11:30, and usually I've got a 2-year-old brother at home. His name's Cooper, and he's usually in bed by like 10. And
earlier than that, probably 7.
no, he goes to bed really late. But so he's running around. My friends throw me in the pool, and I just asked them if they would take my phone out and take my shoes off, and they could do whatever they wanted. So they threw me in the pool. I get out. We're all laughing, and I see Cooper take off with my phone. I was like, Cooper, no! And I saw my phone go skipping across the water, and sure enough, it's sitting on the bottom when I go swimming later. I still don't have a new phone yet, and it's been dang near a week.
Wow, and I don't know what happened. I texted him twice and even called him at around noon.
I think people thought I died. I got a lot of likes on my status from Facebook from that, though.
Mm-hmm. How have you been off 2 hours of sleep?
I'm really tired. I stayed up with my stepbrother and his friend this morning because they got a PS3. If you want to add me on PSN, I play Xbox. I'm gonna call it a gamer tag. Is A_PAC_O_TARDS. APAC_O_TARDS. But we were out playing the PS3 and I didn't get to bed till around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and I had to be up for a lift this morning. So I'm on 2 hours of sleep, and I'm probably only gonna get another 2 tonight. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, this is probably my first time sleeping at home in 3 weeks.
You've been gone for a long time.
And I apologize to all the fans because I did not make a home run derby or all-star game predictions, because when I left for Sheboygan, we did not know
right here. No, here.
It would be actually right around up here.
I've never been there before. I mean,
that's Petoskey around there.
Right, then here's
There's
Traverse City.
Traverse City's around there too, Mackinac. Anyway, when I left for Sheboygan, we did not know the All-Stars or Home Run Derby participants yet. Congratulations to Robbie Cano for winning the 2011 Home Run Derby.
Great father-son moment.
I did not actually see the Derby because I was chatting with friends of mine from Europe. But anyway.
His dad didn't smile one time throughout the whole Home Run Derby until he hit that last home run to win it. It was kind of neat. I would have liked to see Miguel Cabrera in it, though.
How did Poppy do?
Ooh, I think he lost in a playoff. Or a hit off is what they call it.
Swing off.
Thank you.
But every time I've watched since the 06 Home Run Derby, it's funny to see Big Poppy and Little Poppy.
Right.
That's what I call him, Little Poppy.
I think that's what was written on the back of his jersey that they gave him when he was in the outfield. You should have seen the catch that this kid made. Must have been, he probably 14 years old. It should have been a web gem. But someone hit a pop-up, and he's running all the way across the outfield, lays out right at the last second, and makes the catch. His legs come up over his head, and he flips over. It was neat. That should have been a top play on ESPN.
Or maybe a Kirk gem.
Yeah. Definitely.
Timmy!
What was that?
Every time on Mike and Mike in the morning when they get Tim Kurkjian on.
Oh,
like, Timmy! Mike on South Park.
From South Park, yeah.
Timmy!
That's random. I don't really watch Mike and Mike in the morning. I don't really get up that early.
In the summer, I don't get up that early. Even today, I was surprised. I woke up at just about 10 o'clock. But anyway, during the school year, I watch Mike and Mike in the morning, and frequently I hear, Timmy!
I hear that a lot on South Park. Because I stay up late and wake up kind of early. But what are you going to do? You're in high school. You got jazz band.
Mm-hmm. I stayed up for the national championship game.
I think I did too. Football?
Yes.
That's a doozy to stay up for.
And I will probably stay up for Monday Night Football, Lions-Bears.
I'm hoping to be in attendance to that game.
And I did, I'll post it on a comment, but I'd rather not say. But we've been talking for just about 20 minutes on this video, haven't we?
We're going to have to make 2 posts on YouTube, aren't we? Because you can only have a 10-minute video limit, can't you?
Actually, my video can post over 15 minutes. So this can be in one.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think the next video should be an NFL pick.
NFL.
Or a fantasy draft special.
Yeah.
Those hit huge.
Because really my first video was in this Viking shirt for a Super Bowl picks, and of course I picked wrong. I picked the Steelers to beat the Packers. But of course I did that because, you know, the Steelers won Super Bowl 43. Am I correct?
And Super Bowl 40.
In Detroit. I strongly recommend you to listen to Lose Yourself by MNF. That is the imported from Detroit song.
Mm-hmm.
I have
commercials.
I have lately become a fan of Eminem music.
I've been listening to the Beastie Boys. I like the Beastie Boys.
But anyway, I'm Not Afraid, Lose Yourself, Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm. Those are good songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're on my iPod.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, yeah, I mean, we need to do pick shows for the NFL. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. If they have a season, which they will.
They will. I'm 100% sure that they're going to have them, but I think the Players Union just needs to accept the fact that they're not going to get everything they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason they're still holding out.
Yeah. Last thing I've seen, Goodell and Smith have been talking on the phone over little issues.
Yeah. And what do you think about this NBA collective bargaining agreement falling through?
Oh,
I have paid no attention to it.
This, I'd have to say, is absolutely stupid. They have had the NFL lockout ever since a month from the end of the NBA season.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes out to Stern and all of them. Why didn't you learn from that? Why didn't you either extend the old CBA another season or get a new one early?
You know what the media is making it seem like? You remember a couple of years ago when Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett died on the same day, and they talked about Farrah Fawcett for a little bit, and then Michael Jackson the whole rest of the time?
Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett, NBA, NFL, Michael Jackson. They don't talk about the CBA for the NBA at all. And you know, that Turkish team is getting in contacts with Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. And he won't go, but I don't know.
If I were Kobe, I'd say I will come if there is no season. If we have a season, I'm playing for the Lakers. I'd have to say the same thing with Deron Williams.
He already signed. He signed with the Turkish team.
Yeah, that's...
You know, it's not smart,
But what are you to do in the lockout? I mean, Ocho Cinco
played soccer.
Tried to play soccer, but he was nowhere close to playing for Kansas City.
Who else has tried to do things? I don't know. He might be the only one, because he's just crazy like that. I heard he's trying to switch his name back to Johnson.
Well, he shouldn't now.
I know.
But did you... Of course, you've heard of Ron Artest. I mean, Meta World Peace.
Mm-hmm. The guy that started the fight in the Pistons game, at the Pistons game, like, quite a few years ago now.
04.
That one.
Against the Pacers.
The year they won the championship, right?
It was the season after they won the championship. And they could have won the championship again, but I remember watching...
Stupid Spurs.
I remember watching Game 7 against the Spurs, and that was...
heartbreaking.
I literally did cry.
I think I've only ever cried over one sports event. I don't remember, it was a long time ago. Probably when Michigan beat Michigan State in something, but...
I cried over the World Series in 06.
When the Tigers lost?
Yep.
Well, you're a pretty big Tigers fan, I can see that.
And Pistons in 05. I almost cried over the Wings.
This past year?
When they lost to the Pens in the final.
Yeah.
But in Game 7, but I
hate Sidney Crosby. I'm sure everybody else does too.
He's really hated in Detroit because he took our Stanley Cup and our gold medal.
Yes. Oh, did you hear about Chris Osgood retiring?
As bad you mean yes.
No, Chris Osgood is good. He won, what did he win, 5 championships?
Well, I'd have to say he was
It was
kind
either
of like
5 or 3. But he won quite a few.
he was kind of like Dr. Werner Spitz. I'd rather not talk about Casey Anthony, but Dr. Werner Spitz is an autopsy doctor in Metro Detroit, and he was probably one of the best things ever in Detroit. And then he just fell down, and when he testified, he was like, "Blech, I saw the autopsy." Anyway, Osgood was kind of like that. He was probably one of the best ever to play, and then
he went to St. Louis.
Then he came back to Detroit, and then he fell down. I think he retired at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, you'd want him, you know, for anybody to retire, you want him to retire while they're on the top, but sometimes you just gotta go.
Yeah, he's starting to fall down. I think he did the right thing retiring.
Yeah. That sounded pretty violent.
that was on TV too, on YouTube. But
oh, maybe it'll make it to TV if we're lucky.
But anyway, I think we're over 25 minutes. So
yeah, that's been a long time.
Yeah, and I've got a phone call to call back. So anyway,
and I get to go volunteer. Yay!
So we'll see you soon.
See you soon. We'll hit the links sometime.
Yeah, hit the links and NFL picks. We'll see you later. This has been sponsored by Coke Zero. Refreshing taste, 0 calories.